So we are out here at Love Park talking to some people right after Election Day to see how they feel waking up in America today. It's a tough day for some people, a great day for others. It's very interesting to see everybody's kind of perspective. I think it's crazy either way, right? That we're devoting this much time and energy into two people that most of you will never meet, most of you will never get to know, they will never get to know you or what affects your life. So let's talk about what affects people's lives today out here in Philadelphia at Love Park. You want to talk about what it feels like waking up in Philadelphia today?
Yeah, not great.
Okay.
But, keep your head up. It's only 4 years, hopefully.
Right. Well, the way it usually goes, they might try and get them out early.
Yeah, but then we have J.D. Vance, which I don't know if that's better, but hopefully midterms will be better.
What are some things on like a positive note, if they can do anything positive? What do you hope changes on a Philadelphia level?
I think, Philly was still blue, so it's still hopeful. There's still people who have compassion for others, and I don't think anything is ever lost. I work in human rights, and that's my passion, and I will continue to work, and people will continue to work no matter what. So, yeah.
What are some things you see in Philadelphia that you would like to see change, like politics aside?
Just maybe less hostility between the two sides. I mean, it's kind of hard to not have hostility today towards the other side, but I don't know. I think at the end of the day, I have love for my fellow Americans, maybe not so much Trump, but I do, especially Philly people, we're all sort of in this together, so. Yeah.
What's your favorite aspect of Philadelphia? We're here at Love Park. What do you think holds Philadelphians together?
I think just the compassion and like the general love and compassion that people have for one another here. I think we are the city of brotherly love, and I think at the end of the day, people really have trust in one another, I think, and I don't think that that's gone just because of the results last night. So, yeah.
Any words of wisdom you want to say to the people that you can...
Just don't give up hope, I guess. We're still here. We're still going to fight. People who have been fighting the good fight are still going to fight the good fight, and it's not over. So, yeah.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Stay beautiful. How do you feel about waking up today in America?
Awful.
Awful? Why?
Well, because we elected a rapist.
Okay.
We elected a rapist, and the men didn't think about the women at all. Decency lost over $1.
Okay.
They chose the dollar over decency. I mean, if everything to them means money, and I'm sad for our country right now.
Do you think there's any good he can do?
Yeah, if he'll get up and act like a decent human being.
What would that be?
That would be put some Democrats in some cabinet positions, number one. Make a John F. Kennedy type of speech. Get out and say you're going to unite our country, which you divided. Work together on the other side of the aisle instead of name calling. I don't want to wake up every day and people wake up to women being called fat, making fun of the disabled. So many things. Putting down our Hispanic brother and sisters. I mean, we are all immigrants to this country.
Right.
So it makes me very sad today.
What do you hope? Do you live in Philadelphia?
I'm from Arkansas, but I live in Philadelphia.
Okay, you do have an accent.
Well,
Beautiful
of course,
one.
I have an accent.
What do you hope changes in your daily life, other than the rhetoric of people back and forth?
Well, I'm so sick of the in-your-face Trumpism, basically wearing the hats, "Make America Great Again." Go move somewhere else. America's the greatest country on earth, and everybody knows it. Everyone's economy is based off our economy, and that's what I think people forgot about, that we were in a recession when he left office because of COVID. The Democrats are smart enough to know that COVID caused that. Also, historically, we go into a recession every time a Republican leaves office. But he's telling us exactly what he wants to do. If he could do something about the female rights that he's taken away, that would help me. Because in Arkansas right now, it does not matter if you're brutally gang raped or die. The mother could die. You cannot have an abortion.
So, do you think? And I don't care either way, right?
You should care either way.
Well, I think it's tough.
What station are you with?
I'm with Fall Risk, so we're independent.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of they spend a lot more time on the game and the marketing, right? The occultism of the MAGA, right?
I want to tell you this: they have ruined the Republicans. I have a lot of Republican friends that I can't even look at currently, mainly because they're in your face, and they're bullies. He's giving everybody a right to bully others, and I don't like it. My parents raised me better than that, and I just can't take it anymore.
I agree. Do you think it'll calm down now that
No.
like it's his last kind of term?
Oh,
he
no,
can't
it's
do
not.
this again.
Well, he's told us that he's not going to leave office. He said
I mean, that's like a kid saying, you know.
Okay, exactly. He's a kid.
Well,
So at
yeah.
what point and why would anybody vote for him? Did you vote for him?
So I didn't vote.
I mean, but
just-
at what point? Why were any of his antics okay with people?
Well, I think there were antics on both sides, but I think we've
what antics
kind of.
was it? What antics? What antics did the others? Did we say that our people are eating dogs and cats? No.
No, I think the huge McDonald's thing. Did you see the McDonald's thing? I think that was a whole propaganda
Which-
on both sides.
which
Like that
McDonald's
she
thing?
didn't work for McDonald's. She said she did, and then
did
he
work for
went and worked for a McDonald's for a
Yeah,
day.
that's just you're obviously a red. So you're obviously.
So I think I'm not a red or a blue. I think
I'm a-
my
I'm a-
generation needs to change a lot of this. I think
Okay.
a lot of time and energy and money was wasted on this whole year of campaigning, the witch hunt, all of that nonsense.
The witch hunt. When you would get on social media and they'd call her a whore, but then it's fine for him to cheat on every wife he's had, have 5 different children, and see that's the.
Well, I don't agree with both. I think it's a big distraction on the
That's
human
it.
issues
Okay,
that
and
you're dealing with, that I'm
He
dealing with.
had zero idea he's going to take away health care. He's already said he's getting away with Obama. That's 100 million Americans that won't have insurance, and so he has no plan, sir. He has zero plan, and that's where I am on that, because I had cancer and almost died, and an insurance company canceled I've had insurance my life. If it wouldn't have been for Obamacare, because I got laid off my work so I could have cancer, I've never been able to get my surgery.
Well, I think everybody deserves health care. Let's
Yeah,
get
but he
so.
doesn't.
So I think the challenge is he is we elected him as like a businessman, right? So people
okay,
want
a businessman
for business.
that has been bankrupt 7 times. Started out with $450 million, sir. So I don't even understand how you think that's a good businessman. I know.
I'm not saying he's a good businessman.
I hear that there's a family that did work for him at the casino. Small family business. He approved the money, and then didn't pay him $2 million. That's his main MO. You steal from a children's charity, you start a fake university. I mean, the list goes on and on. I'm choosing decency over $1, and that's all I got to say about it.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate your time. Yep. So we are out here at Love Park talking to some people right after Election Day to see how they feel waking up in America. Absolutely. Dan, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
What's your name?
Oh, I'm Tatiana.
Tatiana.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm Lenny.
Lenny, how does it feel waking up in America today? Were you guys like kind of appalled, in shock? How you feel like waking up to your feed and seeing the decision?
I felt terrible.
Okay.
Like I literally saw it in live action. Like I went on Google, refreshed my page, and it just boom. And I was just sitting there in shock because I really thought Kamala would win.
Okay. What are you hoping that would have happened if Kamala won? Like, what are you hoping some things that would have changed?
Probably LGBT laws. You know.
Okay. Like, what would be a few of them? Like, for anybody that would hear, right? It's most important that we all talk about the issues, right? And figure out where everybody's issue is and how to solve them. What are some LGBTQ laws that you would want changed or put into place?
Healthcare. Cause Trump really wanted to ban like trans surgeries or something, and
I think that was in prison. Like,
Oh, yeah,
he
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
want
yeah.
to say like if you committed a crime, like we'd pay. You know, I don't know. Like, I believe in keeping you alive, but like if you wanted face surgery, right, and you just murdered somebody, should I pay for your face surgery?
No, I don't think that.
I think he's under the same impression, right? Like, I don't know if I want
think
to.
about that. But another one would be like what is it, healthcare? Like he was trying to like deny healthcare to LGBT people,
I
right?
thought you just said that.
No, I was talking about the trans surgeries. There's other ones.
I don't know about that.
Oh,
I
you
know
don't?
about like the abortion laws.
Yeah, the abortion
And how he
laws.
was treating them. They were so bad. Like I honestly, at the end of the day, no male should be able to control a woman's body no matter how old you are, because he has woman family. You know, he has like a mother, a grandmother, and then he has like children. Like the pipe that goes down, like he's gonna destroy that for them, because a lot of people go through things like non-consensual, and then you have to keep the baby just because of a law. Like that's ridiculous. And then a lot of people can get to a point where they're gonna want to do things to themselves because they can't get rid of that baby that is taking over them. So it's like then more people might start to die off, like as in women, and then you lose women, you lose the population, and then now life is spiraling.
I agree. I think it should have changed instead of, just removing the nationwide ban, right? Changing the law to affect all states. But I think what happened was, and kind of the mentality that I understand was like, he wanted everybody's own state to be able to individually choose. So like if you live in Arkansas, right, and they say you can't have an abortion, well, maybe you can go to a state like a neighboring state that may allow it, right? So like, and I talk about this all the time, I think that crime rates would be lower if every state had its own legal process and crimes that were allowed and not allowed. Say like Pennsylvania, legal weed. New Jersey, legal alcohol, but no alcohol in PA and no weed in New Jersey, right? Where like you can choose to live your life how you want to live it by the state you want to live in, right? As opposed to like, oh, I live in America, I just can't do that, right? You can choose, okay, well, if I want to live that way, all right, maybe I should move to this state. And then there won't be any people saying like, hey, you shouldn't do that, or like, hey, we don't do that here, you're going to go sit in a box and not be able to leave, right? Like jail, right? Like that's scary. How many people do you think, you guys smell weed in Philly ever?
Yes.
Okay,
In school.
How many people do you think are sitting in a Philadelphia jail for having too much weed, like ounces or pounds of weed in their car, like selling it like a businessman?
Percentage, I would be over 10%, like in between 10 and 20.
But there's still a percentage. I don't know the percentage either.
No.
But no, but there is people sitting inside a box right now that can't go home to their mom or their kids because of something that you guys, right, smell every day, right? So I think if we changed and talked more and kind of gotten away from what we all just watched for the last year of one person on the blue and one person on the red fighting for a popularity of all of our votes to just make decisions for all of us, do you think they're ever going to hear what you think or what you think or what you think?
No.
I don't think they care to listen
Yeah,
sometimes.
our school doesn't even listen to us, so why would we?
So I think if we came up with a system instead of voting at a ballot box to pick a popular person, right? Maybe voting once or twice a year about issues in our home state, right? Like coming up on the ballot for the laws for any sex or gender or, sexual preference you want, or the laws for healthcare or the laws for drugs coming up on the ballot where we get the actual choice. The populace, the majority vote, you saying yes or you saying no, and that be the deciding factor, not someone named Kamala or Donald going, well, I think my constituents feel this way. You know what I mean? Would you let somebody talk like that? If I was like, hey, you guys, you're going to talk for these two for the rest of the time you guys are hanging out. Anytime I ask you what you want to do, I'm not going to ask you or you. I'm just going to ask you. We're not going to talk to them. We're just going to talk about what the group wants to do, and you and me are going to make decisions. How do you feel?
No, I don't like that.
How do you feel?
I don't know.
Right. How do you feel for that?
I don't even like that. Like I don't know what's going on in their mind, so I can't really say, oh, we're gonna do this, and they don't even want to do it. Like that's a lot.
So I hope my generation and your guys' generations, that clicks somewhere for us along the line and stop the popularity contest of presidential elections, because we have 52 states that are just going up in population, right? So like your voice is just getting smaller and smaller as the days go on. And I thank you guys for talking. I appreciate you stopping today. Anything you want to say to the people?
I want to say that for all the people who decided that a woman should not be in the office, think about your mother and your future children. Think about, the generations to pass on. And just read the laws that he put in place for us for the future, and just, think about you as a person, because you as a woman or as a man or whoever you identify as, you should be able to know when there's right and when there's wrong. People might have their different opinions, but, everybody's just trying to live. Everybody's just trying to live. So open your eyes a little bit. Open your eyes.
Amen. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Stay safe, guys.
Okay. Bye.
So what's it feel like waking up in America today?
Well, honestly, I feel like waking up in America is such a beautiful thing, considering what other countries are going through. I mean, granted, we're not the perfect country, but I feel like we're doing the best than what most countries are doing, with the diversity, the equal opportunities and stuff like that. So I would say America is doing pretty good for the most part.
That is true. We do not have to walk anywhere to get water in the morning.
Right.
That's a huge thing, and our water's clean, not contaminated. Those are big things some countries don't have. What do you hope changes in America after yesterday?
Honestly, I really hope and pray that the economy can be comfortable for people. People can find jobs, better housing for people, kill the whole homeless situation, the poverty, stuff like that. Like, have everybody live in a comfortable environment.
Okay. Do you think there's any local changes you'd like to see in Philly other than the economy and housing?
Yes, actually, I would like to see most of the abandoned buildings get converted into apartment buildings or like rec centers, so people can have somewhere to go during the day, or for those that's less fortunate, they have somewhere to actually live at. So I feel like Philadelphia, it has potential. We just got to have the money to bring the beauty into the city so we can live up to the name of brotherly love and sisterly affection.
Absolutely. What is your favorite aspect of Philadelphia? We're here at Love Park. What do you love about Philly?
What I love about Philadelphia is how everything is so convenient to get to. It's not too big, it's not too small of a city. The convenience for the transportation and the food, I love to eat. So, like the food is a plus. Okay. And just overall, I guess Philadelphia is like a good city considering I was born and raised here.
Okay, well, beautiful, beautiful. Where is your favorite place to eat for all those people chasing their taste buds right now?
I love to eat at a Jamaican spot and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to give them a shout out, the Jamaican spot? You got a favorite one?
I mean, they all taste good to me. So, shout out to the Jamaicans, to the Asians and all that. Keep up the good work.
There you go. Well, thank you very much. Have a beautiful day. I appreciate you. Anything else you want to say? Piece of word or wisdom?
Yeah, just stop the violence and everything. Be good, be kind to others, and, make that money.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Stay cool, my man. Enjoy your day. Dan, nice to meet you. How are you?
Hey, I'm pretty good. How are you today?
Good.
Okay.
What's it feel like waking up in America today?
Well, America has not too much changed or deviated in the political process for a couple years. You have winners, and you of course have losers. It's how you handle the losing, especially when you put in the best effort that you possibly can, when you stay on message, when you give information that is credible, factual, and consistent. Okay. We saw a vast contrast in the two parties during their candidacy, where one stayed on message, and I'm not saying that because I supported that particular side, but the other one, well, they stayed on message also, but it just wasn't a message that would bring people together in a already divisive country. Okay. And the numbers last night definitely showed that this country is still divided after 8 years, the first administration of Trump. And here we are going into the second administration, and you see the numbers are just so equally divided. The messaging, as I stated, was pretty clear on both sides. It was up to the voters to decide which message do you believe is factual, truthful, consistent, and would definitely benefit you. People gave their choice. We're still here. Annie said the sun will come out tomorrow. God provided the sun. So we're still here. We still have to go to work. And there's still work to do because, as you know, and if you look around, there is just a vast amount of homeless folks that are around that need shelter, that need resources, that need services. I work with a group called We Love to Give, and WeLoveToGive.org. It's a 501c3 status. We've been doing the work for 3 years, but we just secured our 501c3.
Okay.
That's my volunteer position. And when I look around, as you said, how do you feel waking up in America? The more things change, the more they remain the same. And everybody still has a job to do, and so on. Yours may not be trying to bring the country together in one day, 1 week, or 1 year, but you cannot forget that unity comes in a collective.
Absolutely.
Okay, one person cannot do it, several people can't do it, but you got to work to try to get people on board to change some of the conditions that we're facing in America. Yes, Project 2025 by one particular, let's just call it by the Trump administration. That's a scary document. Hopefully they do not implement it in its raw form. Hopefully there is some sort of political jurisprudence that can challenge or even change some of the things that they are looking to implement.
Okay.
Our job is to do the work, to gather the coalitions, to organize and do the best so that we can hopefully make a brighter day in America.
Amen. Amen. What are some changes you hope to see in local Philadelphia? After all, it kind of trickles down. What are some changes you hope to see in your everyday life here as a Philadelphian?
Sensitivity in leadership, in management, and I'm talking about on the city level.
Okay.
I'm a union man. We just went through some interesting sets of circumstances under the new administration. There are groups, locals and two different general memberships that are ready to come together to avoid certain levels of strike.
Okay.
One union has been patient and so on. My union, we agreed to the certain terms, just so that we could renegotiate conditions in December.
Okay.
But I always say, if you see somebody hurting, try to help, try to fix it, and things of that nature. And be sensitive to it, and be compassionate. No matter how much money you make, no matter where you live, and so on, the feeling of oppression and exploitation covers all around, and so on. So one of the things I would love to see is sensitivity in leadership and management in this city to recognize the common man's and woman's goals, needs, and services.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much. I
Okay.
greatly appreciate you stopping and talking today. I hope you have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry, you want to go?
I gotta go quick. I want to do
Okay,
it
go
real
ahead.
quick. Are we going to talk about Kamala too?
So you can talk about anything you want. It's just a general question. How do you feel waking up in Philly today?
Philly is a beautiful. Oh, well, the camera's going off. I
Yeah,
don't think want to hear me.
No, I think the cable.
Philly
whacked.
is a beautiful city. It's a city of brotherly love. It's just the people within the city that makes it a bad city.
Okay. What do those people do specifically that make it a bad city? What are you referring to?
The youth are lost. They have no guidance, no sense of control or whatever. Parents want to be their friends and things like that, and they need stuff to do to occupy their time because the idle mind is a devil's playground.
Amen. Amen. What do you think? Are you pro Kamala, pro Trump? What do you think?
Hold on, Ebony. I'm on the way up there. So as far as Kamala, my thing is, I don't know why she was endorsed by a bunch of people that went to Diddy's party that's trying to cover up for that, And I feel like with Trump being in there, the world is going to be better. Gas prices will go down. People will be better off, be able to pay their bills and stuff. Other countries will respect us more, and more people will be able to pay rent and pay bills.
So do you think business-wise it was the best
A lot
decision?
of businesses are going to pick up because a lot of businesses was going bankruptcy and filing for bankruptcy. A lot of stuff was going downhill. We was falling into a depression. We are in a little depression, but things are going to get greater now that crazy Trump is in.
Okay. So you think inflation will go down, gas prices down?
Gas prices are going to go down. Stocks is going to go up. Yep.
What do you think about his, his idea on tariffs. Do you think tariffs, like putting
as far as the immigrants?
no, so like electric vehicles, things like that China are bringing in from Mexico, right? He's
Well,
going to
that's
put
good
a
because
200% tariff on them and raise the prices. Do you think putting tariffs on everything we import, do you think that'll raise our prices?
I don't think so. It's just he holding other countries accountable for stuff, because other countries try to get over and tax us on so much of stuff,
Okay. Do you think putting tariffs on stuff will bring American manufacturing back into America?
Maybe it will. It may be a great thing.
Okay. What are some changes you hope to see in Philadelphia after the election? Just like some things you want to see Monday through Friday.
I hope to see more people working, less immigrants working, and get the buses ready, round them up, get them out of here.
All right.
Rotation.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate
Yes,
it.
sir.
Have a
Have a
great
good rest
day.
of your day,
Yeah.
y'all.
Dan, nice to meet you.
Solomon.
Solomon.
Yeah.
What's it feel like waking up in Philadelphia today?
You mean like given the election results?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm pretty concerned. I did a lot of campaigning for the Harris campaign.
Okay.
And I joined an organization to help bring out the vote in Philadelphia.
Okay.
So my past couple months have been just knocking on doors, being like, hey, vote for Kamala, or like, hey, are you registered to vote? Some nonpartisan, some partisan stuff. How do I phrase it? I guess I'm just like, I guess I had a lot of hope in people. I had a lot of hope that like the economy wouldn't be such a big thing, that people would like, not look at all other aspects of Trump presidency, but I guess people really just care about money, and that might be it. Like, if their material conditions feel like they want them to change, that's the only thing that matters, and everything else is sidelined, which in retrospect kind of sounds right for most Americans.
It's tough when people are living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, for sure.
It stresses everybody out.
I'm stressed out by it, but I didn't think that Trump's plan would do anything for it. Like, his whole economic plan basically is just like, I want to tariff everything.
Right.
Tariffs aren't good economically. Not even Republican economists like tariffs. If your whole plan for the economy is, I'm going to put an import tax on everything, that's just going to make everything more expensive for everyone else. I don't see how anyone who voted for Trump for the economy can look at that plan and be like, oh, that makes sense. I guess he just has the perception of being better at the economy despite failing at business 6 times, despite owning 2 casinos and not being able to make a casino make money. I don't know. It's really, the amount of disinformation that most voters have is kind of crazy to me.
It is crazy to me also. I feel like I go around and I talk to people all the time, and one of my most common questions is like, what do you hope will change? And that's like the toughest question for people to answer is like, what do you hope will actually change, right? And I feel like we see so much policy changes and stuff at our local level, but not a lot like of power on the supreme level and the federal level that like, where is the actual change happening, right? Or like we have just a political game of like who's more popular, like red or blue, which kind of distracts everybody from your issues and my issues.
I mean, I still believe fundamentally that we can do work at the local level and like build stuff up in our communities, but that only scales so far. I've been in Philly quite a bit. I know that there's like worker co-ops and stuff, and there's like kind of community-run things that help people out, but those only go so far. There's so much that the federal and even state level and even city level government has to impact communities. Like, for instance, with the Chinatown thing recently around here, we can build coalition and fund mutual aid and do all this like lefty talking point stuff, but that doesn't stop the city hall, or that doesn't stop the mayor from, facilitating the construction of an arena. There's so much that goes outside of just help your local community. I really wish people cared more about electoralism. I used to be on the side of like, oh, fuck whatever happens at the big government level. We need to just focus on the community. But there's a point where that stuff does matter, right. And I think that we've lost track of that. We've taken for granted that. I think we've also taken for granted like democracy. Like, how do I explain this? Like, I think that people. I spent my entire summer canvassing, going door to door, knocking on doors and stuff. Right. Most people I talk to, I don't think could pass a civics test. I don't think most of them know what the House or the Senate do. I don't think most of them know that the president is not supposed to have supreme control over everything. I kind of like the way America's set up in that we have different branches of government that consolidate power differently. But I think with Trump, that's kind of going to go away. What really concerns me about him is that he when he first got into office, he wanted to do a lot of more intense conservative things, but the establishment Republicans around him were basically saying, hey, don't do that. I remember very distinctly there was one time where he was in a military meeting and he was like, why can't we just use the nukes? Like, we have them, why can't we just use them? And the few sane Republicans that were around him were like, hey, Trump, maybe let's not use our nukes.
Right.
Those people are gone now. And on top of that, he has the Supreme Court packed, and he'll be able to put 2 more justices there probably. He has the House, he has the Senate and probably the House, and within his rights as president, the Supreme Court has decided that, hey, anything he does will be barred from persecution legally.
Right.
So there is so much power being concentrated in one area that we basically have a king again, which is the whole reason why we, made ourselves a country.
Right.
Yeah, that to me is really fundamentally scary. The fact that so much power has been consolidated into one man.
Okay. Do you think more people our age should get more heavily involved in politics? Like, you're probably the most educated person I've talked to in the last 2 weeks in our age range that knows anything about this other than like the hot topics, right?
Yeah.
Abortion, immigration, and economy. Do you think more people should be talking about this kind of stuff, like to one another, in less of a violent, like, are you red or are you blue kind of way?
Right. So one thing that I think Democrats failed on is that we were like, hey, let's run on this abortion thing. Let's run on the social issues. Trump is uniquely racist and sexist and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
I used to think Americans cared about that. But now I'm just thoroughly convinced that all we care about is money and the economy. So we really need to get way more educated on those kind of things and proposing things that actually do make sense, that materially change people's economic status. And that goes a little deeper than just saying fuck capitalism. It's understanding these mechanisms very, very deeply, and also the pitfalls that come with them. You can't just be a socialist and not look at any of the things that that would be negative for that. You have to be able to. One thing I like to see in a person is if they can argue the other side. So for me, I argue for capitalism and I argue against capitalism, so I can actually understand deeply the system I'm working within. I think most people aren't like that. Sorry, your original question was like, should we be more engaged? Definitely. One thing that really scared me about this election was there were so many people my age who were just basically saying like, Kamala is complicit in genocide, therefore let's not vote for her, let's not do anything, let's shut that. Like, there was no conversation around it.
Right.
I don't want to sound mean, but like, guys, we didn't save Gaza by not voting. We didn't save any Palestinians by not voting. We didn't save any Palestinians by voting for Jill Stein. I voted for Kamala because I care about the Palestinian cause, and I knew that under a Trump presidency, it would get immensely worse. Not that Kamala is the greatest person in the world for that, not that Joe Biden is not deeply with Netanyahu, but the fact that Trump is now in office, we didn't save Gaza, guys. Like, that didn't happen.
Right.
So your activism has to go a little deeper and a little smarter than what's going on currently.
Do you think our voting system should kind of be updated and changed, where like maybe we're not voting for like a popular person that makes all our decisions for us, but like a more frequent vote on like particular issues and like constant things that are happening, like maybe even on your phone, you get to actually vote on your phone, put your social security in or your fingerprint, and then come up, what do you think about the border? What do you think we should do with the border? What do you think about abortion? What do you think we should do about abortion? Right. And actually give the individuals the majority vote on an issue like that.
So 2 things. One, there's kind of a cybersecurity risk with voting in that way. From what I've gathered, it kind of has to be done in a sort of like regimented way, because it's really easy for hackers to take over an election if you do it in the way you're talking about with your phone.
Right.
Although we have smart people, we can probably figure it out if we worked really hard at it, but my cybersecurity friends are like, that's a bad idea.
Right.
The second thing is that something I've been struggling with recently is this idea of like, when we vote, right, and we vote for elected representatives when we vote for someone to be like our governor or our mayor or something, are we voting for someone who's going to represent our best interest or what we want? Because those things to me are 2 different things. Right. The country right now wants a fascist dictator, right? But what's in our best interest is obviously not that. But you would say, well, we democratically elected Trump. This is what we the people wanted. At least like over half the country wanted. So then the question becomes like, is democracy supposed to be we elect people who represent our best interests, like what is actually good for us, or people who we just like the policies of? So I don't have a good answer to that. I think I've lost faith in people's ability to reason and govern themselves, but fundamentally I'm not sure if I not want like, I don't know, it's tough. I have a lot to reckon with at the moment. Yeah, I do plan to keep working.
Okay.
I feel like I have to as a black gay person. I can't afford to not. Like, some of my white friends are like, I'll be fine after the election. And I'm like, that's It's good
like
for you.
working towards policy change.
Yes.
Okay.
Here's my theory, right? I think now that Trump has a supermajority, he is president, he has the Supreme Court, and he has probably both houses, we will get a completely Republican governance system.
Okay.
My theory is that it'll go really, really poorly because Republican states are run really poorly. You know, whenever there's a lot of red people in office, things go bad. It'll get so bad to the point where people will no longer be able to ignore how horrible things are, and they'll wake up from their Trump-like hypnosis.
Okay.
So I think my mom said this morning to me, Solomon, some people just have to hit rock bottom before they get to the top, or before they rise back up. And I don't want to be a doomer, but maybe that's where we're at. Maybe we have to just really crumble before we rise up. One other thing I'll say, though, is that I would love to be wrong. I'd love for, if the conservatives take the supermajority and our country is like fucking amazing, I'm fine with that, actually.
Okay.
I am fine with being wrong on this as long as people are still happy and healthy and, like, you know, prospering. Unfortunately, I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, I don't know if we can push past all the bullshit either. It's tough, you know. But I appreciate your time,
Oh, no
Solomon.
problem.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Can I, like, get a link to your channel? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. Dan, very nice to meet you.
Allison Rogers.
Allison, what brings you out here today?
I just felt that some people might need some hugs.
I do. I feel like it's a very divided nation this morning. A lot of people woke up upset. A lot of people woke up happy. Why do you think that is? Why do you think we're so divided as people nowadays?
I don't know that we are divided as people. I just think that it's easy to get complacent when you hear that a lot, and it's easy to give up when you hear that a lot. And so I'm here to give a positive message of resilience.
Okay. Well, I thank you very much. Have you had people come and hug you?
I've had a lot of great hugs today.
That's great. I feel like I've probably spent the last 2 hours here, and this is probably the most heartwarming part. Like, people out actually on their own position and their own time trying to make a good change. And I'm out here talking to people about how they feel waking up in America, right? And specifically a city of love, right? And I feel like a lot of people stopped talking to one another. We just started listening to kind of the mass media, right? Do you think it would be a healthier world if people were out in parks like this doing just like you are today, reaching out to their fellow human?
I have a lot of friends that work for major media companies. I also have friends that work in the government. I have friends that do activist and resistance work as well. And I think good people of compassion and love, whatever you're doing and however you live, is what helps survive. So I'm not entirely sure I understand the question, but what I do know is that my family survived as refugees because of kindness and love and hard work, and I intend to pay back the world by helping heal it and continue the tradition of those that saved them.
Okay. What is one piece of life advice you could give out to anybody watching right now?
It's very easy to give over to hate. I'm a civil rights attorney. I've been doing this work for 25 years. I know anger, and it's the easy way out. Living with compassion is the way in which you get sleep at night and fuel yourself up to continue making the world place in the morning. So the one piece of advice is support public school teachers and live with compassion.
Absolutely. Peace and love, for sure.
Peace
and
and love.
Education above all else.
Education above all else.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I
Thank
hope
you
you
for your
get
work.
lots of love today.
Thank you.
All
You
right?
too. Thanks for
Stay
your
good.
work. Journalism is important.
Absolutely. So over here, you'll see the portal in Philadelphia Love Park's new art installation. This portal will take you across the world to talk to strangers, kind of like Omegle. What do you guys think about the portal?
It's kind of boring right now. There's
Yes.
no one there.
It's like 2 a.m. across the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got any friends in Dublin?
I'm
Or what?
in Poland, and he wanted to say hi, but he said it's late, and he lives like an hour away.
Oh, that's tough. You gotta like schedule it so that like he shows up when it's time.
Yeah.
Well,
but
just
it's
go
not
back
here
to
anymore.
Old City when it moves there.
Is it moving to Old City?
That's what she
Tomorrow.
said.
Oh snap! Do you think people will find love through the portal?
No.
Somebody did in New York.
No way.
Yeah.
How does that even work?
They like waved at each other.
and they're like, "What's your Instagram?"
Numbers.
Aw.
They like did the numbers on the poster.
Oh
and
my
then-
gosh,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
so cute.
Modern day Tinder.
Do you think you could date somebody across the world if you had to meet through FaceTime in a public park?
If they spoke my language.
Love language is a language, right?
Yeah, but like it would just be difficult to like communicate with them.
That is true. That is true. Well, Dublin's in there. I don't think the Irish have their own language.
They got an accent.
That is true. What do you think about the Irish accent? Good, bad?
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I like it. My high school teachers, a lot of them are from there.
Okay, great, great. What are some cool things you hope to see come from like stuff like this? Do you think more installations like this, like communication with other communities, is like cool, or do you think?
I think it really like brings people together.
Okay.
Especially just like seeing them real time, like it's like a FaceTime but with strangers.
Yeah. Like Omegle. You ever seen Omegle?
Yeah, but Omegle's scary.
Yeah. What if that was like that?
No.
No.
I saw a guy talk to his girlfriend this afternoon through a sign.
Aw, that's dope, right?
Yeah, that's really cool.
You know. You think anybody will ever get married through it? Like if you're like dating
Maybe
somebody?
I could see an engagement.
Okay. Like travel halfway across the world to pop the question, a little awkward.
Yeah, I think an engagement, probably not a marriage.
Okay.
What about an engagement, but they're there and the whole family is here?
Oh, that would be cool. That would be
Really
cool.
cute.
Do you think one day places like this will exist, but like the ability to just walk through it, like technology advances 20 years?
I hope so, but no.
Would you travel through if they were like, we need a volunteer, first person to step through? Would that be you?
That would not be me.
No. What about you?
Yes, because I want to go home.
Yeah.
Home is in Asia. So.
Okay. What brings you to America?
School.
Okay. How do you like it here?
Based on yesterday night,
Yeah.
I want to go home.
Okay. What do you hope changes in America? Like coming from another culture and another community, what are some things you wish you could bring from home to here?
Safety for all Americans.
That's a good one. I think more community.
Okay.
Both of these parties, I feel like, are very polarized right now. It's not going to get any better.
It's tough. It's tough out there.
Tough.
Do you think people like us need to talk more, like individuals?
1000%.
What do you think will help with that? I mean, I have a camera, right? So like that's why you guys are talking to me. But if I was just a random guy holding a mic in the park with no camera, right? Do you think you'd come up and talk to me?
No.
So what do you think would help the average stranger talk to another stranger? Like what do you think? And good things come from it. Like not like hitting on you but like talking about the community and like the aspect of living together.
I think we should get to know our neighbors more. It's
Ooh,
something in
yeah.
America that doesn't happen anymore, and like that's why you don't have there's no community anymore, and then
I agree.
you there's so many just like things that come from that.
I agree. I feel like we're always like on the move, on the go. Like we have a plan to go somewhere, and it's just like maybe just like sit down and like observe people, like people watch. You know,
That's a good thing. Do you ever people watch?
all the time.
What's the craziest thing you've seen in Philadelphia people watching?
Oh my god. I mean, I've seen like people pissing on the floor. Like, ugh. No, it's bad. I've seen like horrendous things, and I text my friends. I'm like, oh my god, I have to stop.
You have PTSD from Philly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is one thing you wish you could change about Philadelphia? If somebody gave you a magical wand and they were like, here, you can do anything you want with it, what would you do?
I'd clean it up first.
Okay. And then everything spiffy clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that goes along with its safety.
Yeah.
I would say this is the most unsafe city I've been to,
Okay.
which is unfortunate because I love Philly, but
Yeah.
it's like as a woman you can't go out at
No,
night
You can't.
Yeah, there's definitely a curfew for safety.
1000%. Yeah.
or even in daylight. A lot happens.
sometimes, yeah.
It's a good system, the buddy system. Keep your friend close and walk with your backs to one another. All right. Well, thank you very much, ladies.
you
I
so
greatly
much for-
appreciate you talking.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
your
yeah.
name?
Dan.
Dan.
What was your guys' name?
I'm Patty.
Patty.
Allison.
Very nice to meet you. If you guys have Instagram, I can give you our Insta, and you can
yeah.
see your interview.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna take a picture of that. Do you do this like
Every day.
Every day? Here?
Every day. No, all around Philadelphia.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Are
yeah.
you a Philly native?
Yes. Yep. It's quite the life living in Philly.
For sure.
There you go. Real_fall_risk.
How long have you been doing this for?
This project, 120 days. Filming straight every day, going out and talking to people. I want to replace the news. I feel like the news doesn't really report anymore.
It's
they
so
have,
curated.
yeah.
There's
So
so much bias too.
right. So I go out and I have a few select questions, but I'm not kind of leading you guys anywhere. I'm just kind of asking you how you
Yeah.
feel and what you want to see change. And
I
I feel
like
like
that. I like
everybody kind of wants to talk to one another more. It's
Yeah.
just we're afraid to, right? Like a lot of the people I ask, they're even afraid to share their opinion because it'll be held against them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's a scary thing. Everybody should feel free to be who they are.
I like that. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
So nice to ask you.
Stay safe. Can I talk to you about your sign?
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. It says "Got room,"
For one more.
like in their country.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What if somebody took you up on your offer? What would you actually go?
I feel like it's probably significantly more than a problem of being like, hi, let's go to another country. You know,
Okay.
I think that is, I don't think I don't think America has the room to throw any stones at any other country right now, but I don't think the current political climate is resolved by leaving. It's more or less just kind of a joke. My husband's an immigrant. He's from England. So if I wanted to hop ship, I could, but there's work to be done, you know?
Okay.
You
What
know?
do you hope to see change? Like, how do you feel waking up today in America?
It felt like walking to work today felt like I was walking in a haze. It really
Okay.
did. It felt kind of like a video game. And then it was difficult. It sounded like anyone that talked to me, it sounded like one of the adults from the Peanuts.
Okay.
Wah, wah, wah. Not much was getting through today. I would say that it feels bleak. It feels sad. It feels uncertain. You know, what are you going to say to the BIPOC people of this country? What are you going to say to the LGBTQ plus community, to the sick and disabled? It is such an uncertain thing to see, and it's scary. And I don't know what to expect. I just know that it doesn't feel like it's going to actually take anyone who isn't super wealthy or super protected into consideration.
Okay. What do you hope to see change in a positive note? Do you think anything will change in a positive note?
I hope that, if anything, this radicalizes people, that it brings people together. I hope that change is that, now we need to realize that we need to protect the most marginalized and vulnerable people in our communities, and that, 78% of the people in this city voted for Kamala, so it shows that there's definitely, and I myself am not necessarily excited to have voted for Kamala, but I was scared of the alternative. And I really hope that this kind of just shows that there needs to be more attention paid to progressives. There needs to be more attention paid to, not just the center left, but there's a whole array of people that didn't feel represented or encouraged or honestly excited about the future. And I think that hopefully this, like I said, it radicalizes people. It encourages people to get more involved, to think locally and think globally and act locally for the next 4 years, and hopefully do our best to come together and protect the people who need the most protection.
Do you think the whole political scene needs changing? Like how we vote, that we vote for two people and one to lead us all. Do you think it all needs to kind of come down to more of a local level?
I mean, I think there does need to be some elements of it being local. I think that bipartisanship in general is a very damning and dangerous party system. I think that it needs to be more of an adopt something where they're taking, a percentage of people want this, want that, want this, and it's represented by different parties, and the percentage of voting that goes to those parties kind of has a larger say in what's happening. So we're more wholly represented. I hope that it encourages people to act on a more local level, but I don't think with the bipartisan system in place or the electoral college in place, anyone that is benefiting is going to want to change it.
Well, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate your time. So I'm talking to people about how it feels waking up in Philadelphia today. How did it feel?
It did not feel great. I woke up with a huge headache.
Okay.
Finding out Trump won, fuck Trump actually, is that going to be demonetized?
Probably, but I don't make any money, so. I don't
Fuck
think that
Trump.
matters.
Trump is a dickhead.
Okay. Do you want to see any changes, or just that's your view and your opinion? You want to see anything change? in
Yes,
Philly?
I wanted him to get a peach again. Thank you.
But like, how would that change Philly? What do you want to see change in Philly, though? Fall Risk Club. I think it's a beautiful thing seeing people come out here and take photos at the Love Park statue. When people specifically ask strangers to take their photo and offer to do the same, that's brotherly love right there. The most simplistic thing is always the best answer. Sup?
He made my day.
That's good.
My heart gets beating. He made my day. Vern made my day, and he made my day, and he made my day.
What do you do to make your day?
And I love the Harkins, and he made my day, and I'm happy. And happy. And happy.
That's good. I'm glad you're happy.
And I'm happy.
Thank you, Vern, for making her day.
He made me happy.
Stay safe.
Yeah, he made me happy.
That's good. That's all that matters.
That's all.
That's good. Nord. Hello. How are you?
All right.
That's good. Is that how you feel today?
Yes, that's how I feel. Do you want me? Do you hate me? Do you want me? Do you hate me? And the officer say, you come on now, because if you do it, I got a whip. Bob, 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 bob. I cannot wait till 12. Oh, that's the way I feel. And they say, do you want me? Do you want me? Do you want me, baby?
Are you serenading me?
Yes.
That's good.
Bob, 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 bob. Do you want me?
Is that your first single?
Yes. Because of him right here.
Okay.
Him with the hat on.
Okay.
Do you want me? Or do you hate me? Because he say when people steal, they're thief.
Absolutely. Stealing does make you a thief, for sure.
And they say, paw, 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 paw. And they say it. And they say it. And they say how man I feel, how the man I go. Because it's going to make it going to shout. If we're going to not shout, we're going to hit shout. Because I'm real fine and I'm happy today. But I'm hyper. Because you know how many Pepsis I had?
How many pets?
No, Pepsi to drink.
Oh, the Pepsi.
You want to know how many I had?
No, how many?
I had me 4.
Okay. 4 Pepsis.
Hey! There go my baby.
Well, thanks for stopping and talking with us today. Have a great day.
Happy.
You heard it here first. 4 Pepsis. 4.
I'm going to say something else.
Okay. What else you have to say?
He made my day.
Okay.
He made my day. He's a happy day. He made my day, and I love him so much. And Vern, I love you so much. You made my day. Ow! Ba, 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 ba. Ooh.
Love the energy. Keep it up.
Oh, thank you.
Make America great and Philly even better. Well, turns out that 4 o'clock is curfew for crazy people. So, get to bed before you're crazy. Drinking all that Pepsi all day. What's up? You're back.
Yeah. I just only want to. I'll be finished in a minute, sir. I just only want to say, I'm in a good spirit, but I'm really hyped of the people who put me down. Don't take a picture of me or I break it.
Tell them.
I'm really disappointed of it, and I'm going to come, and I drunk, and that's it. I got to say, and thank you.
Well, thank you very much.
And what channel I'm gonna be on?
So we're on YouTube, the internet.
Internet? Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a great day.
You too.
A lot of mixed feelings today. A lot of mixed feelings from everybody, both sides of the aisle. One thing you have to remember, we're all in this together because we all live under one giant love statue in Philadelphia. That's the general rule. Thanks for stopping in. And stay good, Philadelphia. Stay good. Bow chicka wow wow. We out here in Philly, Love Park. What's going on? Bow chicka wow wow. All the crazies be screaming at traffic. Bow chicka wow wow. All the news be fighting over the Love Park sign. Bow chicka wow wow. There's like 14 cameras. 1, 2, 3, 18,000 people just waiting to interview. Hello. It's the day after Election Day, so people are out here talking to people about how they feel waking up in America. You want to talk? Okay. They're always interested, but they never want to talk about their opinion. It's almost like they're afraid to have one. What do y'all think? Are you all afraid? I ain't.